It's a headline that stopped the music world in its tracks. Louis Tomlinson, one of the five faces that once defined global pop culture through One Direction, says he would be really surprised if the band ever reunited. The revelation came during his latest interview with Rolling Stone UK, where Tomlinson opened up about fame, loss, and the heavy nostalgia that follows him wherever he goes. As he prepares to release his third solo album, How Did I Get Here? On January 23rd, Tomlinson is standing firmly in a new chapter of his life, one that's about authenticity, not expectation. For millions of fans who've held on to hope for a One Direction comeback, this might just be the most definitive answer yet. But beneath the headline, Louis' reasoning paints a picture of reflection, heartbreak, and acceptance. When asked about the possibility of a reunion, sparked, perhaps, by the highly publicized return of Oasis earlier this year, Louis admitted that the thought had crossed his mind while attending the legendary band's opening night in Cardiff. "That was one of the first feelings I got when I was there," he told Rolling Stone UK. "But I think it's more that you're romanticizing the idea than thinking about the reality of the situation." His words struck a chord. For fans who still see One Direction as the soundtrack of their youth, the idea of the five members sharing a stage again has always been laced with emotion. But as Louis gently points out, the dream of reunion can often overlook the complexities that time and life inevitably bring. It's not just about getting the band back together. It's about confronting what's changed since they last stood side by side. Perhaps the most poignant reason behind Louis' hesitation is the loss of Liam Payne, who tragically passed away last year. "Right now, I can't foresee a time where I would actually feel comfortable doing that," he said. The band's shared history is full of laughter, chaos, and triumph, but also deep bonds formed during years of relentless touring and public scrutiny. For Louis, stepping back into that world without Liam simply feels wrong. "Reconvening as a four-piece would feel like something else, almost," he added. "Before Liam passed, I always had it in the back of my mind, like, I'm sure we'll do something, even if it's just one big show. But now I'd be really surprised." His words carry the weight of grief, but also gratitude. He adds, "I love that the last time we were on stage together, Liam was there. That's just so perfect." It's a sentiment that underscores the emotional depth of Louis' recent reflections. While many artists from major groups eventually find ways to reunite for nostalgia's sake, Tomlinson seems intent on preserving the purity of what One Direction was. Five young men who conquered the world together at a specific lightning-in-a-bottle moment. Trying to recreate that, he seems to suggest, could diminish its magic. Still, that doesn't mean he's shutting the door completely on collaboration. In fact, fans will soon see Louis reunite with one of his old bandmates, Zayn Malik, in a brand new documentary project for Netflix. The three-part series, directed by Nicola Marsh, known for Song Exploder and Stay on Board, the Leo Baker story, is set to offer something fans have been longing for, a genuine, unfiltered glimpse into the lives of two former One Direction members rediscovering their friendship. The documentary, still untitled, will follow Louis and Zayn on what's being described as a spontaneous adventure across the United States. For two artists who once shared stages around the globe, but have spent years growing separately, this marks a long-awaited reunion of a different kind. One not built on performance, but on personal reconnection. According to early reports, the series promises a rare look into their private worlds, touching on themes of life, love, loss, and fatherhood. It's an evolution for both men. Zayn has recently re-emerged into the public eye with new music, while Louis has steadily built credibility as one of the few One Direction alumni to find his artistic voice without compromise. If anything, this series feels less like a nostalgic reunion and more like two old friends finding common ground again. Beyond the fame, and the noise. Musically, Louis' focus remains razor-sharp. His upcoming album, How Did I Get Here, is shaping up to be a reflective, confident statement of identity. Speaking to Rolling Stone UK, he described it as a record that mirrors how much he's grown, both as an artist and as a person. "It's a reflection of how confident I am," he said. The new sound will reportedly take listeners from the darker, more introspective tones of 2022's Faith in the Future towards something brighter and more hopeful. It's a sonic journey that mirrors his emotional one, emerging from uncertainty into self-assurance. Critics are already calling it his most personal project yet, and for a performer who once sang to stadiums filled with millions, this album feels like a quiet reclaiming of voice and vision. Beyond the music, Louis' story also highlights the broader reality of growing up in the spotlight. He was just a teenager when One Direction was formed on The X Factor in 2010, and what followed was a level of fame few could have imagined or survived. The split in 2016 sent each member down their own paths, but the lingering pressure of their shared legacy has never quite faded. Fans still analyze every interview, every lyric, for hints of a reunion. Yet, Louis' candor in this Rolling Stone feature feels like a turning point. It's a reminder that while nostalgia is powerful, it can't dictate the future. For him, the path forward isn't about reliving the past, it's about embracing what's next, with gratitude for what was and acceptance of what can never return. As Rolling Stone UK's issue 24 hits shelves on October 9th, Louis Tomlinson stands at a fascinating crossroads. A man defined by a band that changed music, but no longer confined by it. His honesty about grief, growth, and artistic integrity makes this moment feel deeply human, and perhaps that's why fans continue to connect with him. Whether or not One Direction ever reunites, Louis seems at peace with the idea that their story, as it was, is complete. What lies ahead is his own narrative, one of resilience, reinvention, and real emotion. And with a new album, a Netflix adventure with Zayn, and a renewed sense of self, Louis Tomlinson isn't looking backward. He's simply and finally finding his way forward.